Well, the Nebraska football team here took the field on Monday as they officially begin game week for Arkansas State. Hi, Sean Callahan for HuskerOnline.com, and it was Blackshirt Day here on Monday as 16 different Husker players earned black shirts. Obviously, your starting 11, then you had a group of 5 other players that will take on different starting type roles that all earn black shirts. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get to speak with any of the defensive coaches, but earlier today we just talked about the impact Bob Diaco has had on this defense in his short time at Nebraska.
Definitely just kind of the effort, that's kind of the big thing, is guys really playing for each other and playing hard. That's kind of something you could see right away. If you weren't going to buy into his system, he wasn't going to wait for stragglers, so it was definitely a type of thing where once he came in, you kind of knew how the culture was going to be, and then you had to buy in, and I think it's definitely worked.
I think a lot of people would be shocked. The defense is difficult. We've had our times with it in fall camp. It's annoying, but I mean I think people would be shocked what they can do. And I'm actually excited for them because I think it'll be fun watching them do what they do best.
We've seen a whole lot of blitzes. We've seen about everything when it comes to schemes and things like that, and it was a grind. It was definitely a grind for us for the first week, just seeing all those blitzes and seeing so much different kinds of patterns with the safeties, linebackers, and, of course, the D-line. But Coach Cav, he always would come in and just have a smile on his face and be like, it's great that, you guys are getting to see all this.
Going into this game, though, there's a lot more storylines than just Bob Diaco. Quarterback Tanner Lee will be playing in his first football game in 651 days on Saturday against the Red Wolves, and he just talked about that long layoff and what it's been like.
I don't know. I'm extremely ready, extremely excited. It's been a long time since I've been out there in some live action. I missed that. I've been doing a lot of practicing the past couple years, and just thinking back on, where I was when I ended my career at Tulane, and not knowing where I was going to be, and then to be in the position I am now, I feel extremely, humbled and lucky and blessed for that, and I'm just extremely ready to finally get back to playing football.
Wide receivers coach Keith Williams actually was at Tulane with Lee during that time here. He played a factor in kind of recommending Lee to Nebraska, and he said he really had no doubt that it was going to play out like it has so far.
No, I'm not surprised at all. I told his dad, when I spoke to his dad, I told him that this was the perfect place for him, for Tanner. I'm not surprised at all, not one bit, because everything that he has been so far is what he was at Tulane and what I would expect him to be, at this point of his life, at this age and with this much experience. I'm not surprised at all.
How long did it take when he got here for you to realize, yep, this is going to work? I mean, did it take one scrimmage, one practice? I mean, did you kind of know, like, from the get-go?
It didn't. I would have been surprised the other way, because from what I knew of him, I knew him well. I know his family really well. Unless he was totally different than the last time I was around him, I expected him to be the way he's been so far.
Lee was one of 5 players named captains here by head coach Mike Riley over the weekend. Another one of those guys was in-state walk-on Luke McNitt, who really is one of the leaders and kind of draws some comparisons to Andy Janovich.
Well, it's just everything that he does and the way he does it, being the best lifter in the weight room, getting his picture up. To be in the weight room, that's letting everybody know that's that off season. That guy puts in the work, he's all about the grind. And then to do what he did on special teams last year, going down and being one of our top point getters on special teams last year. Those things let guys know this guy loves the ball, this guy's a hard worker, this guy's a guy that we can depend on. And then everything he's done for us at fullback last year.
How similar is he to Janovich with some of those traits, like the work ethic and kind of the things that he brings?
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Jano was faster than he was, but work ethic wise and the respect that he has from his teammates, those guys are identical.
You kind of see that with Andy in his senior year. You got to prove to the coaches what you can do, and you prove what you can do with the ball to get more opportunities. And I think I'm slowly starting to do that. Last year I was more of a lead blocker. Whatever the coaches are going to ask me, I'm going to do it. But if you can prove to them that you deserve to have the ball in your hands, I think they'll get it to you.
And while we're all ready to anoint Lee the next great quarterback here at Nebraska, offensive coordinator Danny Langsdorf said pump the brakes here a little bit as we get ready for Saturday.
I would say cool your jets a little bit. And that's I'm not being negative on that. I'm just, it's a lot more than just Tanner. He's going to have to play well. But, football being the ultimate team sport, it's 10 other guys on that offense, and he can't do everything, nor do we ask him to. I think it's going to be a critical that everybody plays well, and he'll be the benefit of everybody playing well for sure. But, I think that overhype is dangerous. I think that just laying in the weeds and being an even keel is much better way to live, and not riding the wave of the highs and lows. And we have high expectations for him. I think that to say, well, he's a first rounder, it's a first sure thing, I think that's kind of silly until he plays some games for the Huskers.
And just looking at this Red Wolf team, it's clear that they are going to come at the Huskers with quite a pass rush on Saturday.
Well, you got the nation's leader in sacks, and he's going to break the record. The guy is a good pass rusher. So we're going to have a lot of help knowing where he is, making sure we're getting him covered up and not letting him just go to town.
You can't take these guys lightly. Like you said, they have some transfers and have some really good guys up front, so you can't take them lightly. You can't look to Oregon or look to other games. You got to look at this game, focus on this game, and like I said, you can't pass these guys up. They're good.
They do anything unique? Anything that separates them from other offensive or defensive players?
Yeah, they do. They do some stunts up front they try to isolate what's 11. I don't know. I can't remember his name, but they do some 3-man games with him. They love those TEs and stuff like that. So a lot of movement up front. So just things we gotta game plan more and work on and really focus on for sure.
In injury news, the Huskers look fairly healthy going into this week's game against Arkansas State. The only real injury of note continues to be the hamstring injury of wide receiver Keon Williams, who remains day-to-day. With the Huskers here in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.